Well, I just talked to the owner of Whole Hog Traps. He said my traps, he was going to put them in the mail, but I'm going to go ahead and start my bait. It's going to be a fermented bait to try to eliminate some of the deer bycatch that could have happened. Oh, I'm starting with 2 5-gallon buckets, some corn. I got some Hawaiian punch, yeast, strawberry jello. I got some old wine that ain't no count for anything. Gonna be making like a pig liquor, but I'm gonna be stopping in between steps to show you what I'm doing. We'll see you in a minute. Step number 1 is I have managed to put equal amount of corn in 2 buckets. It gives me about 2/3 to 3/4 of the way full of corn. And I'm going to start adding my ingredients for the pig liquor. We'll see you after the next step. To each one of the 5-gallon buckets, I have added a gallon of Hawaiian punch to each one. I'm fixing to pour in my strawberry jello, 2 packs to each 5-gallon bucket, 3 packs of yeast, and about half a bottle of wine in each one. I'll show you in between steps. I'll turn it back on in a minute. Whew, that already added a good bit of smell to it. There's a bottle of wine Judith had bought. Neither one of us liked it. We was gonna save it for some weird reason, so I figured I'd just throw it in my pig liquor I'm making. But it sucked. Good use for it. I'll see you after the next step. The next step, I have emptied my packets of strawberry jello over my corn, fruit punch, and wine. I'm going to the next step now, which is going to be adding some yeast. And no, police officers, I'm not making some kind of funky moonshine. Just pig liquor. We'll see you in a minute. And right in the middle of each one of my 2 5-gallon buckets, I have added 3 packs of this rapid rise yeast. Now the next step is going to be to add more water to submerge the entire concoction, and to at least an inch and a half above the corn, and stir in the ingredients till I get a good even mix. I'm going to set it out in the sun to ferment for 3-4 days till the traps get here. Should be smelling right. We'll see you in a minute. Well, here we got our corn, strawberry jello, wine, yeast, Hawaiian punch, and I'm fixing to add a little bit of the sweet corn oil, scented oil that I got from F&T. Add a little bit to each one of the buckets to just give it a stronger corn scent. It's got the yeast in it already starting to bubble, and I've made sure I put about 1 inch to 1.5 inches, 2 inches over the top of the corn because it's going to soak it up. And we'll see you after I get the sweet corn oils added. Right in the top of each one of these, you can see where the sweet corn oil is sitting on top. Made a neat little puddle there, floating on top of the water. I'm going to make sure and incorporate that all down into the bait, because it's starting to smell funky already. But stir these in, get the lids on them, but not tight. Let them vent for air, because this yeast is going to start working. And I'm going to go set them out in the sun until the traps come in. And I just needed time for this bait to start getting fermented and get funky, so the deer didn't want nothing to do with it, only hogs. I'll see you in a minute. Well, I have chosen to put the lids on them tight. But I took a 1/4 inch drill bit and drilled a hole in the top of each bucket. I'm gonna take Band-Aids and make a valve on each one to eliminate some of our Mississippi fire ants from getting in here having fun. Turn it on in a minute. Well, here's the finished product. Just made a Band-Aid valve on each one of the buckets just to keep the flies and fire ants out of the product. I'm gonna put this out on YouTube.